Hello everyone, my name is Victoria Ostendorf and I work with Alberta Wildfire here in the high-level forest area, and I'm the Wildfire Information Officer. My main role daily and on the Chuckegg Creek Fire as well was to update the public, the media, and our partners and stakeholders. So that's everyone from industry, First Nations, and our municipal partners. So I'm here today in our new museum display that the Town High Level has put together, and I'm just here to talk a little bit about firefighting and the equipment that we use on the fire. One of the main resources we use, of course, is firefighters. So we call it boots on the ground, if you will. And we had on the Chuckegg Creek Fire a number of firefighters all across Alberta, all across Canada, and as far as the US and South Africa come to help us on the Chuckegg Creek Fire. We also use heavy equipment. So heavy equipment is a big important part of our operation as well. A lot of fires, especially up here in the boreal forest that we live in, are in really remote areas. So heavy equipment can make a fire guard around the fire perimeter to help contain the fire, and they also can help firefighters access priority areas and get them out to the fire line. And another big thing they can do, of course, is dig. We have a lot of areas of ground fire, especially on the Chuckegg Creek Fire in the east, where it's burning in peat moss. So we've had to have heavy equipment dig up the ground and dig up the areas in conjunction with firefighters as well. So we also use haglins. Haglins are also used to transport firefighters and equipment and gear out to the fire line as well. Another big piece of equipment that we use on the fire line is helicopters. So again, helicopters can be used to transport firefighters to the fire line, equipment, and of course, most of us are familiar with the buckets of water. So we can use that to help lessen the spread of a fire and help contain the fire. The pilots are speaking over the radio to the firefighters on the ground, and the firefighters will guide the helicopter into some of these hot spots to drop their water buckets onto the fire. We use, equipment-wise, our pumps and hose, of course. You can see there's a picture right over here that shows two really big pumps that we had pumping water out of the Peace River. This fire had a lot of challenges, and one of them being access to water. So there was a large water delivery system that we used last year to pump water out of the Peace River and get it out to the fire line and get it out to firefighters. Helicopters also in conjunction with dropping water on hot spots and carrying firefighters out to the fire line, they can also dump water in large water bladders for firefighters to use also if there's challenges with water access. Another big piece of equipment we use is our air tankers. We have a number of different air tankers, or water bombers, as some people know them by, and their main job is to actually help slow the spread of an approaching fire. So they don't necessarily put the flames out, but they can greatly help with the spread rate and really knock down the fire intensity. They also can carry water, and they can also carry retardants, and that's the red stuff that you can see that they dump onto the forest. So another technique that we use helicopters for is something called ignition operations. And ignition operations is the technique where we can burn off the forested area in front of a wildfire from approaching in a controlled manner. So most folks are familiar with the operation we completed in the southwest of High Level along Highway 35 south of High Level and Highway 58 to the west of High Level, and then the fire perimeter. So we had favorable winds to complete that operation. There's many background planning that goes into such an operation, but it's basically where we will burn the forested area between a community or a home at risk and the approaching fire in a controlled manner to help not have that fire advance onto like the infrastructure, the community at risk. I guess I'll just end off by saying, wildfire operations is tough work. It's hard work. It's long days, and it takes a number of people, a number of not only firefighters and equipment, but I guess it's a good time to even educate folks on all the people behind the scenes. We have wildfire specialists, we have the ignition operators that plan the ignitions, we have our fire behavior analysts that are always monitoring the weather to let firefighters know what to expect in the coming days, as winds play a major role in the growth of fire. So there's a lot of moving parts, not only the parts you can see working on a fire, but there's also a lot of those people in the background, everyone from even logistics, making sure that firefighters get fed and get the equipment they need out on the fire. And I guess I'll just end this video with a thank you, and we would like to thank I guess we would like to say that there was a huge success due to the fact that we had built partnerships with our municipal partners, our industry partners, First Nation partners. Definitely something to be said about the northern close-knit community we live in up here. And due to those relationships we built, we did see some success working together last year. And of course, to all the public and our community members, it was a tough summer, but if we can get through something like that, I think we can get through anything. So thanks for having me.